Yo. Yo guys, Mayne here with a quick video update. Sorry I haven't been as active. I know I've been doing a lot of shit posting on Twitter. If you want my more kind of chart focused feed, usually that's the Telegram, but everything's been a bit of a mess. I'm enjoying my vacation. What can you say? It's my first time in Asia. I'm loving it. Bali is beautiful. Looking forward to heading to Australia next. But want to send a quick update here. We have been in some stuff. We caught that nice FTM long, and I bought the dip on Bitcoin, and pretty damn close to the bottom. So I'll kind of go over that. Obviously, we're not going up only right now, right? We had this period from basically fucking from January to January, straight vertical, and then this parabolic leg here from mid to late January till mid March, and now for the last couple of weeks, basically the time that I've been away, the last 2 weeks, we're going a little bit sideways, right? We're in a range. I don't think there's anything to worry about, to be honest with you. I mean, I think you're seeing a lot of craziness online, people calling for the top and the bull market is over and fucking all this stupid shit. I've said this before. I don't think we're early. We're already past all-time high now. We're already parabolic, but I don't think the top is in. I still think we're going to see six-figure Bitcoin. The top on Bitcoin is not going to be in while there's a bunch of people calling for the top. You know what I mean? And we still have a ton of people trying to call the top on the market for whatever fucking reasons. And it's not going to happen like that, I don't think. Generally, the top isn't in until everyone is just completely on board that it cannot go down anymore. And it's just a completely new paradigm, and it's the same shit you saw last cycle, right? Everyone is on board. There's crazy amounts of retail here. I still think, it's not that there's no retail. I've got friends messaging me. I've got, we're seeing some celebrities get back in, but I still think we haven't seen that blow off on Bitcoin yet. I still think that is to come. So I wouldn't worry too much. We're trading right around all-time high. ETF inflows are starting to turn. Well, the ETF flow is starting to become inflows again. We had a couple of days there, or a week there. It was dominated by GBTC outflows. Barry still has 4 or 5 months worth of outflows that he's just going to keep unloading because he's a big fat piece of shit. But yeah, so let's talk about it. I made a post and I said, hey everyone, let me know what fucking charts you want me to look at, and it got way too many comments for me to be able to cover right now because I only have a brief amount of time here. But when I get to my next location, I should have more of a proper setup. I can do more of a proper video. Maybe I'll even do a live stream if the internet allows. Things have been pretty shoddy just in the places I've been staying from connectivity point of view. But I'm just going to kind of go over the majors here. So first, let's talk about where we are on Bitcoin. We're trading right at the previous all-time high, right? So we traded above, back below. We're now trading above again. So why did I buy the dip here, right? And those dip buys, even at worst, are up 10, 12% still. But basically, we were coming into this consolidation here, and we had about a 20% pullback from bottom to top. Max fear on the feed. It just seemed like a pretty easy long. I just started bidding, right? I started bidding right around 62K. I posted this on Twitter. I was like, I'm starting to bid from here. And I had bids all the way down to a sweep of this low. Because to me, we were going to get a bounce. Whether the bounce leads to a new high or not, we don't know yet. But we were due for a bounce. We basically were 20% down off the high. And I was like, listen, what are we going to do? 25, 30% would be worst case scenario, right? Down to 50K. I didn't think it was going to get that bad. The feed was in absolute shambles. So I just started kind of bidding this demand cluster. It was really that simple. And I had some bids down here. It was purely spot, no leverage. So I wasn't really worried about, okay, what if I'm early? What if I'm wrong? I knew we were going to get some kind of bounce. And to me, after a 20% down move, the downside risk reward is no longer there. It made more sense to be looking for longs. And so really I just started bidding this demand here. So if you go on the H12, this is pretty straightforward stuff from my streams and the stuff that I share with you guys all the time, right? We're just bidding the H12 order block here. We're bidding the demand zone. So there's your down candle before the up move. that broke market structure. And I'm just bidding that, and I left room in case we ran this wick. And we got a very nice bounce. We came up into this kind of H12 MSB area. This is the bearish order block that sent us lower. I expected some resistance here. We pulled back. I said, hey, I want to see us basically bounce right around, kind of 64K. You can see we came right into that H4 breaker, right around 63, 64K. Boom. And we're back above previous all-time high from 2021. So to me, as long as we're kind of holding above 2021's all-time high, I don't see a reason to be super bearish. Now, we had this kind of Darth Maul candle on some news, right? We had Coinbase, SEC, some bullshit. I didn't even read the article. I don't really care. To me, generally, in a bull run, those types of FUD kind of dips are the ones you want to buy, to be honest with you. The SEC has had no success really of late, and Gary's time is running out over there anyways. So I wasn't really worried about this. Yeah, we swept the high. We also swept the low. So I maybe would have shorted if we had just swept the high and not the low, but we swept both sides. So to me, it's kind of a sit out area. I think if you long down here, basically this is an H12 breaker. You're looking for this to be the higher low, right? So I think the risk reward, for a long here, it's okay. I think honestly, you could probably take longs down into here, and that'd be as low as I want it to go. So this is your H12 order block. This is as low as I'd really want it to go, 66 to 67K, and then continue up. If this is going to bleed back a little bit further, that's as low as I'd want to see it go, because if it goes lower than there, then I think the likelihood of us, taking out some of these lows and maybe eventually taking out this low becomes a lot higher likelihood. And then I ultimately still think we trade higher for what it's worth. But yeah, so I'm kind of not sure up or down from here. I'd be willing to bid a move down into here. I think the confirmation play, if we do trade down into here, is just wait for us to trade back above that 2021 all-time high, and that gets long. If for some reason we lose this zone, then I think we probably run out these two lows down here. I don't think I would bid this again necessarily. But yeah, I don't think there's anything to really worry about. The halving is in less than 30 days. It's in like 20 some odd days. And we're trading right around all-time high. So even if we get another sharp pullback, to me, a month, 2 months from now, we're likely trading higher, in my opinion. So if you're positioned from, in the 40s and things like that, and you've got, I'm not saying this is, personally, I'm not like selling spot here. Unless you're quite dialed in and you're trading all these kind of rotations from high to low, you're shorting this, you're buying this, you're shorting this, you're buying this. Unless that's what you're doing and you're actively trading this market, I think if you have good entries, you sit on them and you wait and you see, and we see how things look after halving. We haven't even had a sustained all-time high breakout yet, right? We made an all-time high and then we pulled back. If you go look at the last time, we broke all-time high. Back here, right? It was a few weeks of kind of consolidation and congestion and pullbacks and pumps and then pullbacks. So we could just be seeing something very similar to that happening right now, right? We're just kind of consolidating around here. It's going to take a little bit to resolve, but ultimately, wherever this dumps to, maybe it comes down to here. I don't know, but I think that this eventually breaks up. So keep that in mind when you're positioning yourself, or you're, considering, what you're doing long term. Don't let this necessarily, if you position yourself for Bitcoin's going to 100K and you longed it all the way in here, I don't think this kind of consolidation here is cause to completely fucking exit your position if, you ultimately think we're going to trade higher. Similar to like one of these, right? Like these corrections and these periods of consolidation are necessary. Price cannot go vertical forever. So if we want to see a sustained break above all-time high towards 90, 100K plus Bitcoin, pullbacks of the magnitude of 10, 20, 30%, sideways consolidations, These things are a necessary part of the process, right? It allows price to reaccumulate and then continue to expand, because it cannot just go up vertically forever. Similar to here, right? We're going up, 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 sideways. People thought it was over. People calling for, this, and then vertical again. No different here, right? Probably resolves in up. It's just trying not to chop yourself up to bits in between. All right. So I still think Bitcoin looks fine. I think short term, if as long as we're above this all-time high, I think we can go up. Otherwise, I might be interested in a trade at the 66, 67K area, down into here, another 4 or 5% down for a long. Otherwise, I think you're chilling. I wouldn't stress out too much. Ethereum coming into resistance. Ethereum BTC still just being an absolute friggin' piece of shit. No matter how many SFPs I draw on it, it just keeps trading lower. So again, it's just consolidating right at this low. So we ran that summer's low out. We had the pump. We had another pump. And we're just kind of holding here. So, if you're looking for Ethereum to take the lead, this low needs to hold, and we need to get a sustained breakout, above these highs at 0.6 or whatever it is, 6,000 sats. That needs to happen, because otherwise, this is just going to, doesn't mean Ethereum can't go up, but it's not going to outperform Bitcoin until this chart starts to put in some bullish market structure. So, this feels like forever ago when this sweep happened. It was already 3 months ago. We need to see what way this breaks, because if this breaks down, Bitcoin could be Bitcoin breaking all-time high and leading the market again, and alts and kind of Ethereum taking the back seat. But again, I still like Ethereum. I still think Ethereum goes up, but this has been, disappointing and lackluster to say the least. We need this thing to put in bullish market structure for Ethereum to lead. It's as simple as that. This is what this chart shows, right? It's the relationship between Ethereum and Bitcoin. So as long as this thing is kind of going sideways or down, Bitcoin is, kind of leading the charge. So, or at least equal to Ethereum in strength right now. So it's kind of been, Ethereum lead, Bitcoin lead, Ethereum lead, Bitcoin, kind of outperforming. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep an eye on this. We've obviously had some altcoins do really well. We've had some altcoins do not so good. You look at something like Doge. Doge had a huge correction along with Bitcoin. Again, right into the 12-hour order block here. Massive bounce here. Almost 70%. I see a lot of my feed now calling for Doge to $1 guaranteed this cycle. I do think Doge to $1 is, potentially very likely this cycle. If you look how, Doge is traded. Let's go find like an older Doge chart. What's going to have the oldest Doge chart here? Kraken? That's a pretty good one. Like Doge to $1 is not that crazy. With this being, kind of a meme coin hype cycle so far, with meme coins doing really, really well. This is the OG, right? So I made a tweet the other day. Do you put all your money in Doge? Do you put all your money in WIF? Some interesting answers there. But as you guys know, I'm long some Doge from 9.7 cents. I'm still holding a bag of that. And I still think Doge can absolutely rip. I don't know if it goes to $1. Maybe it does, but this is a significant, breakout that we're seeing here, right? We're effectively, this is a massive, massive consolidation here that we're potentially breaking away from. So maybe not $1, I don't know, but if the market continues to go up, like I don't see how Doge isn't trading up to 35, 40 cents, if this breakout retest holds. So things like Doge look really good. A lot of our spot bags are still doing fine. Things are moving slow a little bit right now. It's way funner when things are going, vertical every day and you're just getting richer and richer. But all of these are still very comfy. SNX still very comfy, still looks very good, well above our entry. Our entry was at 330. We're in this from 625, so still very comfy there. I got in this at like 90 cents, took some off. up here. You know, I'm still holding this. I still think that this trades to 150. I still think it looks fine. Sushi, we're in from 125. I still think it looks fine. So a lot of these coins, like, yeah, they're experiencing some pullbacks and stuff, but overall, I still think everything looks totally good. You know, you look at something like Solana. Solana could come all the way back down here if we get a deeper correction, and I still think it's going to all-time high. So, you know, these pullbacks are opportunities, right? If you're bullish on a coin and we're getting consolidation or pullbacks, or you're getting a dump on that coin, like you look at AVAX. To me, this has got 2x potential still, right? So if this wants to come all the way back down into the low 40s, I still think that this thing is going to trade up into this high, right? So you got to be using these opportunities as pullbacks and these consolidations is your chance to get into some of these coins that maybe you missed. You felt like you couldn't get into Solana. It was going up only. It went from, you know, 100 to 200 in basically a straight line. Well, guess what? If it comes back to 150 or 160, if you were so bullish on it, why are you not bidding there, right? You absolutely should be. So I think a lot of these coins still look really good. WIF has been a crazy one. I still think WIF isn't done this cycle. This seems to be the premier kind of blue chip alt so far coming out of this cycle. I think Pepe still can go up, but we had a lot of crazy fucking runs, right, guys? Like basically middle to end of January, for the entire month of February, kind of into the start of March, everything was going parabolic. Bitcoin was going parabolic, meme coins going parabolic, a bunch of altcoins going parabolic. So these consolidation periods, oftentimes in the middle of a strong trend, will shake you out, right? This is where it gets sketchy, and you can get, you know, you can give up some really good entries, and you can give back a lot of the money you made during these parabolas by trying to trade how you traded this parabola, you know, when price is now going sideways. And I did a video on this before I left, right? If the market conditions change, you have to change with them. And if you can't trade anything but up only, then maybe sit out and sit on your hands until those conditions, you know, return. But I don't think there's anything really to worry about. You look at the monthly chart here. What we want to see, obviously, as the month of March comes to a close here, is we want to see a close above that old all-time high. I think that would be a good look on the monthly chart. If not, then we're opening the door for, you know, a monthly SFP, maybe a larger correction. But again, I think any sort of large correction that comes between now and, you know, the halving and over the next couple of what day is the halving? Let me just look this up. April 19th. So it's April 19th. It's literally in like 3 weeks. So, but like any major correction that we get, to me, I still think we're in a bull run. I still think we trade to 6-figure Bitcoin. So unless you are actively kind of trading these micro rotations, like I said, the big correction is going to be your opportunity to really get some solid entries for that next potential parabolic leg. Like even if we have a huge correction, right? So let's say this is a lower high here, and we come down to like here and we get that 30% pullback from bottom to top. Like this, with the halving coming so soon, whether this happens before or after, this is a bid. Because I could see BTC alone 2xing from 50K. So I think you have to frame what's happening right now as a good thing for a few reasons. One, these pullbacks and consolidations allow for the higher time frame trend to continue. And two, it's an opportunity if you missed some entries because things were so parabolic over the last couple of months, you'd want to get in some spot. You've been waiting patiently. Being able to deploy that capital, that's when you're going to get kind of the best bang for your buck, is on one of those large corrections and buying that blood. You know, we are absolutely at an area here where price could roll over. Like if this is a lower high, this is exactly where it's going to form, right? This is exactly where the lower high will form if it's going to. And if we get a serious dump here, we probably take out this low, and then I'm looking into this consolidation. But again, if we come down here, guess what? I'm fucking bidding Bitcoin, I'm bidding Ethereum, I'm bidding all of those strong altcoins, that I'm a fan of and that I want to be involved in for the next leg. Because I do think, regardless of what happens, in the near term here, whether this was the low or maybe we have one more low, maybe it's this or maybe it's this, I think both result in a leg up after that. So keep that in mind, right? These dips, these corrections, these are opportunities. So, go mark your levels, go build that watch list out of the stuff you want to be in. Realize that this is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. I personally don't think the bull run is over. I still think we are going to have a sustained break above the previous all-time high. So a correction before then is just an opportunity for you to load up your bags. So I know I didn't cover a ton of charts and stuff like that, but I just want to give my quick thoughts. I'll do more of a proper video when I get stuck into the hotel over in Australia tomorrow. All right, guys, quick update. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.